Well, in this video, let's look at using the lag shot both in your warm-up, how to get off on the right foot as you prepare to play, and also out on the golf course. You can pull it out of your bag if you're struggling. The key, of course, is you're trying to get back some kind of a flow and rhythm in your swing, but you have to do it in those environments when you're about to play or you're already out on the golf course. You have to do it without activating your conscious mind, starting to think a lot. Okay, a quick word before we really get into the drills here. Number one, if you're going to, as I just said a minute ago, if you're going to recover some sort of form without thinking a lot, you have to be pretty familiar with what you're doing. So it's hard to get the most out of this one until video number 3, where we talked about at-home practice. You've kind of gotten that swing simplified. You're familiar with where you want the club up there at the top. You're familiar with the right sorts of feels. And of course, video number 4 there, where we talked in the drills about how to transfer energy to the club. Once you're good at those, you're ready for this one. So let's hit a shot. And let's get into our drills. Now, your conscious mind is not wired up in complex mode, not wired up to do complex motor programs, and if you get too involved with your conscious mind, the sorts of things that will diminish would be flow in your golf swing, balance, fine-tuning, the ability to do something as difficult as squaring the club face consistently. Even speed will diminish when you think too much. So these are the enemies when you're out there playing or just when you're getting ready to warm up. So the two things we're going to focus on here are flow in the swing and balance in the swing. When you're playing, even if you're not swinging perfectly, if you can do those two things, you'll really see some good form and some reasonable performance. Let me quickly show you a couple of things with a pro so you've got a good mental picture, then we'll keep going with this drill. So a younger Michelle Wie, one of the really great lady players to come along in the last 15 years or so, let's just watch and let's look first for flow. So what I mean by that is if you follow the arms and club flowing back, there's no pronounced stop or jerking the club down there. It just flows from top of backswing to downswing right through to the follow through. Notice how the body just glides along with the movement of the club. Nothing seems to stop or start too drastically. And finally, let's look at the balance. I mean, she just couldn't look. Watch that back leg. She just couldn't look anymore. Strong and balanced there. Now watch as she flows into the finish. Look at that balance. Perfect. Okay, first recommendation, get your feet fairly close together, get the lag shot club, make some swings, not full swings, but close to it where your hands are about shoulder high. Here's the thing, make some swings continuously. After about the 4th or 5th one, the swing almost swings you. You'll start to really sense, more than anything, the flow of the golf swing. You can start to feel the timing and the weight of it. Flow is what we're looking for here. Let me show you from this angle how you can transfer that to hitting some shots. All right, tee up a few balls, low tee like a par 3, get set up to the ball, then here's what you do in the drill. There's 2 ways you could go about it. You're going to make several swings in a row and then just go ahead and hit a ball. You can either make the swings without hitting the ball over the top of the one you intend to hit, or my preference, slightly to the inside. I'm going to make several swings, then on a given one, once I feel the swings really flowing, just going to allow myself to hit the ball. Your mind will go find it. Let's try one. So here we go. Just decided to go ahead and hit it. Starting to get the feel again for not thinking too much, for just letting the club work for me. Now, if you sense, and a lot of times people do, if you sense you're your own best judge of what your thought processes are, hey, I'm swinging, I feel fluid and free, but as soon as I tell myself I'm hitting this one, I react to the golf ball. I feel different mentally. You're not doing the drill right. You have to go back and work on it till there's no mental change. I felt no sense of angst and I decided to hit the ball. Now, what you want to do, if you're out on the golf course and you're struggling, of course, you're not going to be able to hit balls, but you do several in a row, swings like that till you get the feel. Then try a few with your club because you've got to get the feel with this club to play. So I'm going to make a few continuous practice swings with this club. Again, it's a different feel. This thing's somewhat lighter. It certainly doesn't have the flex. Your mind will adjust to it though. Once I get that sense, I might try a few shots there with the continuous swings, or I'll just go ahead and hit a few shots. Nice flow to that golf swing. Again, your goal is to create flow and motion and less thinking. So our two stated goals in this video, we said we want flow in the swing. That's what we saw the pro do. And of course you have to have balance as well. Now I think you're going to find that, that's why I did them in this order. When your swing has flow, this club has a lot of weight as well. When it's flowing and moving, it actually helps your balance. Picture, if you will, a string with a weight on it. You start whipping that thing round and round, the weight of that thing out in orbit stabilizes your arm and wrist and keeps it in one spot. Works both ways, but we're going to look at balance as well. So I want you to make a backswing and stop at the top. You'd certainly be advised to look in front of a mirror to make sure you're doing it well as well, but the feeling I get is the feeling that I feel some pressure down in the ground on my back foot. I don't feel like I've shifted over at all, but I feel really balanced and I feel a little bit of pressure down in my right shoe there. But I don't feel any sense of heel to toe, at least not when I'm swinging well, nor some sort of a sense that I couldn't hold that position for a while if possible. Good balance helps tempo. If your subconscious mind senses I'm getting out of balance, it fights for balance, it ruins your tempo. So balance, very, very important. So make a few practice swings there, get it going, and then just stop at the top and see if you feel really like you can sit there and you'd have no problem staying in that position. Then of course you've got your balance at the finish. And in that case, I feel like I could very nearly pick up this foot. Nice pressure there, but again, not squirming around at all. Here's a big key for you. I know I'm into not thinking too much. If you start to get in your conscious mind, I've got to get in balance, I've got to shift my weight, and you start telling yourself what to do, the very opposite will happen. You will not have good balance nor good timing. So once you've familiarized yourself with that feeling, and the feeling here, just calm down and let it show up. Just sort of notice it, if you will. Let's try a shot. Throughout that swing, I sensed good balance, very, very aware of it. Mix the flow, balance, keep going back to those two things when you're playing. Time to install all kinds of. If you do, it's unlikely you're going to benefit from them. Hang in there through the round. Prep yourself before the round. I tell you, one little tip from me here. I was always told as a junior golfer, hey, when you're out here on the driving range, you can think about your swing here. But when you go to the first tee over there, you should stop thinking about it. Well, that never happened because I never really taught myself to trust it over here. And I'm okay with a little swing key, but I've got to do it with a calm mind. Practice it here. If you can calm down and feel flow and balance here, you'll be able to do it out on the golf course so much more likely.